This lesson features another installment of that Motown bass playing. Today we're going to focus on a very specific pitch, scale degree 6. Here in the key of G, if we play scale degrees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's the note, and then 7 octave. Listen to this. Yeah, that's very Motownish sounding. It's very major, sort of happy sounding, as compared to this. That's the flatted 7th, the dominant bluesy sound. Now, of course, there's some blues sound in Motown too, but Jamerson played a whole bunch of this. Yeah, it's part of another way you can describe it is just simply that little pentatonic scale. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Octave. Now that's major pentatonic, as opposed to most rock and funk tunes are a minor pentatonic, and they have that dark bluesy sound. Here's another way to finger it that's real common. Watch this. Sometimes it's a good fingering if you want to go above that octave. We're just simply doing this and then transferring that up an octave. I'm just going to jam a little bit on the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord, and then we'll talk it again and show you how to practice it. Let me get my little play along going here. Here we go. Yeah, you got the idea. Jamerson has some real specific characteristics when he uses that 6 and how he uses it and how he goes out of it. It's a little bit complicated. You're going to have to study a more Jamerson. But let me just give you a little exercise today to practice to work on getting this 6th. To start with, I recommend you learn to play 1 finger per fret. Again, we're going to do stuff like this, but right now let's get it all in one position so we can just not have to shift around to get our sound. Let's just practice doing this. Play with me. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and root 6 5 3 2 1 3 4. Play with me. Yeah. Now let's go from the bottom up. Four chord, top down, bottom up, again, up to the 5 chord. Good. Now let's do it again, but we'll only do that one measure in each chord. So the G chord to the C chord to the D chord. 1 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord. Here we go. 3 and 4 and. Sorry. 3, 4. C chord, E chord, 1 chord, 1 chord from the top down, 4 chord top down, 5 chord, 1 chord, 1 more time, bottom up, 4 chord, 5 chord, 1 chord. Oh, 5 chord going, 1 chord going down. Sorry, here we go. 4 chord, 5 chord, back to 1 chord. Let me do it again with that play along, and we'll get a little groove happening, okay? I'll do it real simple like that, and then I'll start to improvise a little bit. Here we go. As you can see, as soon as we start adding a bunch of cool subdivisions with the rhythms, it starts to take on a melodic phrase. Now, of course, the trick though is to practice the fundamental without a lot of rhythm till you get that physical shape in your hands. Then you can add some rhythm. Do stuff like this. See what I did? I did eighth notes, then eighth and 16ths, then all 16ths. Sure. And then you need to listen to great playing, like Jamerson, to get this in your ear. With all music, until you have listened enough to get a real solid concept inside you of what it sounds like, what it feels like, well, you're just not going to play that well. I recently had an adult professional, successful bassist in LA, start taking lessons from me, and he's quite accomplished. And I think the way he stated it was, well, Jim, I can go into any sort of a playing situation and learn the music and play it real quick. I said, well, what's the problem? And he said, it's fluently making the stuff happen on my own. That's because you have to work on the fundamentals so strong that you actually create some freedom through discipline. Let me finish it off with a little jam here. I'll play a little more soloistic on this one, okay? Let's do that now. Now, I'd never play that busy in a song. I don't want to get in the way of what's going on. I'll be supportive. That's one of the magics of Jamerson. He can play quite busy, but his line is still very supportive. So work on this, work on that 6. Get that part of vocabulary in your fingers and your ears. I guarantee you, it'll elevate your Motown playing to a whole nother level. And remember, it's all about the groove. So you got to work this mechanical, physical stuff out so it's muscle memory. Right on.